you ready? Hi, what's up? This is your girl, Marine, the messenger, Niagara Falls.
Tune in to the messenger, baby. Niagara Falls in the building. Your boy Talent.
What up, Niagara Falls? It's your boy Chris Kempson. You tuned into the messenger.
Hi, Niagara Falls. You're tuned into the messenger. This is Timothy Lovett.
What's up, Niagara Falls?
I'm from Niagara Falls, too.
Out here in Niagara Falls. Stuntman Strip.
What's up, Niagara Falls? Tune in to the messenger. This is your girl, Nuki Moore.
What up, Niagara Falls? You tuned into the messenger. AJ Johnson chilling here.
Niagara Falls was handing this no other than King Malachi, ATL legend.
What's up, Niagara Falls? This is comedian Artie Rob.
What's up, Niagara Falls? You tuned into the messenger. It's your boy, comedian BK.
And you knew it became
the messenger of Niagara Falls. Of course, he's visa approved.
What's up, Niagara Falls? It's White Boy Jacob. You're tuned in to the messenger and enjoy the show.
Live and direct from the city of Niagara Falls.
Yo, what's up, Niagara Falls? What's up, YouTube? What's up, everybody out there in social media land? It's your boy KryptoCritic3000, and we are back to discuss everything that happened, good, bad, and ugly. Well, not everything, but not everything, because we wasn't there. But we're gonna cover most of what we saw and how we feel about it. So, as I said, I'm your boy Crypto Critic, and with me today is my man HipGregory.
Once again, what's going on? What's up, Niagara Falls? What up, everybody?
Oh shoot, 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah.
So let's just dive right into it. So let's talk about that 49ers Seahawks game. So last week, the first game of the week was the 49ers over the Seahawks 41-23. At first the Seahawks jumped out to a 17-16 halftime lead, but in the second half, San Francisco broke the game open with a dominating performance. Brock Purdy threw for 332 yards, while also becoming the first rookie in NFL history to total 4 touchdowns in a playoff game. Purdy finished with 3 passing touchdowns and 1 rushing score. Wow, that boy Purdy is doing the damn thing.
Yeah, Purdy looking pretty.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I would say he definitely surprised me with his consistency, because that's what they usually shut down. And he surprised me because, man, he did the damn thing.
Yeah, he looks good. The Seahawks, they kept it close for a while, but they just couldn't hang with them boys from San Francisco. I'm wondering if Purdy is that their quarterback now. Is he going to be the number one guy? He's playing well.
Right. That was kind of like what happened with Tom Brady when he replaced Bledsoe. And then they had to have a quarterback controversy.
Right.
Who is Purdy replacing?
Well, the starting quarterback who they wanted to go with was Trey Lance, but Trey Lance got hurt.
Okay.
But Trey Lance is, they put stock into him. They drafted it high. They want him to be the guy, mobile quarterback. But he hasn't really got that much of a chance. But he hasn't really shown much. So I can't really say that he's definitely the guy. You know what I'm saying? He hasn't really
right.
that much opportunity. But then he got hurt, and Garoppolo came in.
Garoppolo. Now that's who I was thinking about when you was mentioning the quarterbacks. Yeah, Garoppolo.
Right. But Garoppolo was playing well. He was leading that team. He's very experienced, so he know what he's doing at least. But then he got hurt. So down to the third string. I'm wondering if they could seem like they could roll with anybody. You put them in there.
Yeah.
Hey, you want to play quarterback, and they'll still run like a well-oiled machine.
Yeah. I'm not gonna go. I ain't gonna go that far. But it does seem like that they're doing a lot with setting up the right situations for a quarterback to fill in that spot. And I don't think just anybody could have went in there and did what Brock is doing. So I give that to him. And for those who didn't know, that was a game that me and HipGregory agreed on. Them 49ers coming through. The 49ers came through. And so that was good, man. We both picked the 49ers, and they slaughtered the Seahawks. Yeah, I knew what's his name? Geno Smith?
Geno Smith, yeah.
Yeah, I know he was fugazi.
Well, Geno Smith played well, and I'm thinking with everyone saying that he's coming back next year, that they're gonna offer him a contract, and he's gonna be the quarterback again for next season.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I ain't saying that he ain't good enough to be a starting quarterback. I just don't see him leading a team to a Super Bowl the way he's playing right now.
I mean, but I've never looked at him before this year as a starting quarterback. You know what I'm saying? He's been in the league a long time. He ain't been a starter in a long time. So
right. So that's definitely an improvement.
Definitely.
I'm
surprised that he's a starting quarterback. That his stock has changed.
Yeah,
definitely after this season.
Some people must really be desperate for quarterbacks. No, I'm just kidding.
Hey,
I'm just kidding.
You're right. I'm a Commanders fan, so I know what it's like to be desperate for a quarterback.
Oh, speaking of the Commanders, I hear they have some forerunner people that really want to buy that team. They were getting ready to say who it was, but I didn't feel like waiting through the commercials, and I forgot who it was. But they said they really got somebody that they're looking at. Somebody's really looking at those Commanders. Hopefully that whoever that is will get in there and change the name.
Right, be another team. Be another name change. I saw a note about Terry McLaurin, the best receiver for the Commanders, and they were saying how he had 3 different head coaches. He only been in the league 4 years now, and he had 3 different head coaches. I forgot 4 offensive coordinators, 10 different quarterbacks, and 3 different team names. So I'm like, wow.
This is why I love my co-host, man. This kind of information. I mean, that is his team, but I couldn't tell you all of that about the Cowboys or the Bills. I'd be lucky if I named 5 starters on each team. You know what I'm saying? Maybe, well, I probably could do 5, but I don't think I could do 10. Now, my son, when he was we were playing NBA 2K. And that man could name the starters on every team, every basketball team, every single one. I said, dang, boy. Ooh, that's
every single one. Even the Detroit Pistons.
Every single team he could name the 5 starters for that team. I said, the players in and out. I was like, you need to do something with that. You can name all of the teams. All right, so now the second game was the Jacksonville Jaguars 31-30 over the 5th seed Chargers. The Jaguars won this game by pulling off one of the biggest comebacks in NFL history. The Jags fell behind 27-0. Early in the game, due in large part to 4 interceptions from Trevor Lawrence. 4 interceptions. How do you come back from that? 4. I wonder if he threw 5, what would have happened? Nah, we already know what would have happened. Well, we don't really know, but they rebounded in that second half to pull off the stunning win, thanks in large part to Lawrence who threw 4 touchdown passes. He came back. I heard that it was some guy. You know how these places let you bet on anything at any time, whatever. So there was some guy who bet 1.4 mil when the Jags had fell behind 27-0. He bet 1.4 mil to try to make $11,000, and he ended up losing his 1.4 million. Obviously, what a jerk!
Well, that makes 0 sense.
Right, but that because of the money line and all of that with the gambling, because they were up by so many, he thought the game was over. I mean, you go up 27-0. They only scored what? They only scored a freaking field goal.
No, for the rest of the game. So,
but I always say it's 2 halves. They scored 27-0. Maybe we'll shut them down 27-0.
Right.
That's why I always hate that rule. People playing Madden, the 21-0 skunk rule. That's the biggest bullshit ever. You got me down 21-0. Okay, in the first quarter. Okay, I can score 1 touchdown in the second, 1 in the third, 1 in the fourth, and now we going into overtime.
Tie game, right? That happens sometimes. Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, but that was crazy. I definitely thought that game was over when it was up 27-0. Like you said, 4 interceptions. 3 interceptions was caught by Asante Samuel Jr. And so he looked like he was a good one. I remember his pops. His pops played for the Patriots and I think the Falcons. He played with Tom Brady.
Yeah.
So he balled it, and I definitely thought the game was over. That boy Lawrence, he's a bad boy though. I remember saying that before that dude looked like he's arrived, and he showed out in the second half.
Yeah, in the second half, yeah, he settled down. He settled down, and everything like that. And it was really amazing. I think I had fell asleep, and then I woke back up, and I was like, "What the hell?" And I don't think the head coach got fired, but they definitely made some.
They fired the offensive coordinator.
The Chargers did.
Yeah.
Because all he had to do was score one more time, and
they had to get rid of somebody. I guess he was the sacrificial lamb. What you call it? Because people been calling for that man's job, the head coach, even before that game. So I'm not really that familiar with, but there's some complaints about him. So I guess somebody had to go. But one thing I got to, call him to task is, do you realize the Chargers ran the ball in that second half 7 times? They only ran the ball 7 times in the whole entire second half.
Wow. Yeah, that's stupid.
Yeah,
they did a Tampa Bay.
Right.
But they could run the ball. They could move the ball.
Right. Matter of fact, because I remember in the first half there was one of the drive that started, inside the 10-yard line, and he threw the ball 3 times, and they had to kick the field goal, which is crazy. And then the next time they got inside the red zone, they ran the ball and scored. I'm like, well, why didn't you do that the first time? And then to have that big of a lead and not run the ball only 7 times.
Right. You're supposed to milk the clock.
Exactly. So that was a bungle right there.
Yeah, that's
that was
true.
A mess up.
That's true. And on that game, we had split. And I want the people to know. See, when me and HipGregory, we split a game. Look at the score, 31-30. We both knew it could be anybody's game.
Right.
I went with the home team on that one. And I went with the Jaguars because of the way that they played the week before. They had the momentum, even though I didn't really like how the defense scored all of the points. But I just had a good feeling about the Jaguars. So now, those were the 2 games on Saturday. So now
Saturday.
we're gonna talk about these 3 games on Sunday. The first
Sunday
one,
fun day.
the first one was the number 2 Bills hosting the number 7 Miami Dolphins, and the Bills ended up winning 34-31 over the Dolphins. The Dolphins went into this game as the biggest underdog in the history of the NFC of the wild card round at plus 14.
Wow.
So they covered that spread. I don't even
Definitely.
understand how you could give somebody 14 points. But that whole spread stuff is something based on some kind of statistical something point scored, the difference in the point score, this, that, and the other, and who's hurt and who's not, and all that kind of stuff. But if I would have known it was plus 14 and I was a gambling man, I would have put my money on the Dolphins because the Bills never cover the spread. They cover the spread sometimes, but I learned that from the Green Bay game. 7.5 points. They won by 7. I said, "Dang, ain't this a BI?" But yeah, and so at the end of the day, the Dolphins were still able to put a major scare into the Bills and the Bills fans, such as myself. In the end, the Bills were able to stave off the upset thanks to Josh Allen and his 352 passing yards and 3 touchdowns, and a defense that came up with multiple big plays, including 2 turnovers, 4 sacks, and a 4th down stop that iced the game with just 2 minutes and 30 seconds left to play. Now, we will talk about the 4th down stop, but let's talk about the 4th down folly and the delay of game.
6. Are they going to make it in time?
Snap it now. Go.
It's late. It's late. It's late. Hold on. They're going to wave off the play with the penalty. It'll back them up 5 yards.
That was prior to the snap. Delay a game. Offense. 5-yard penalty.
WTF exclamation point. I don't care if you are a rookie. You should still know, hey, man, I'm going to call something. Let me get out here and call something. The quarterback sneak. Let's go. You know what I'm saying? A quarterback sneak. Let's go. Yo, you get ready to push me. You know how they doing now. They pushing the man. I seen him do something smart one time. I seen where the guy went to go push his player, but instead of hitting his player directly, he hit the other guy and pushed the other guy into his player.
Right.
Yeah, and so I was like, oh, that's kind of smart. You're using him as like a little shield, so he won't hurt him. But that game right there for the Bills to only win by 3, and like you always say, you say family business. I don't know if that's a term you made up.
No, I heard that somewhere, but yeah,
when they call
when they call teams in the division, I got that from Louis T. He's he be on the social media doing his videos, call it family business. So yeah, and that game was wild. It was a lot closer than I thought the game was gonna be. Like you talk about the follies, I kind of wonder, like, if that's an experienced quarterback, does Miami pull that game out? Like, if that's Tua, do they pull that game out and win?
Bro, hey, if you a Bills fan right now, and I'm speaking from personal experience, you're not excited about. I'm not going to say you are excited that they go into a divisional playoff round,
right?
But you are not too thrilled with either circumstance, whether you got to go up against the Chiefs or whether you got to go up against the Bengals.
The Bengals. Yeah.
It's not a thrilling situation. And this Saturday coming up is going to be a real test for Buffalo. That's going to be a hell of a game, and I hope Shaq Lawson and the boys can do something about that running up the middle that Green Bay exposed, and then Detroit followed the next week. And they, man, boy, let me tell you something. The Bills are weak in the middle, man. They can't stop that run up the gut, and I don't know if that's because of the plays that the defensive coordinator is calling, and he's not selling out to the run, and he wants to do a more of a zone type or maybe a nickel type defense instead of a 4-3, putting a man down on the line. I know you can have 4 men on the line and still be in a nickel, and so I don't know what it is, man, but they got to come up with an answer for this up the gut runs. It didn't look too bad. Hasn't looked too bad these past few weeks. But I still saw a few times where I was just like, damn, they look kind of weak up the middle. Yeah.
They got to clean up that turnover stuff, because if you look at the stats, you would think they destroyed the Dolphins by the yards, the yards, total yards and stuff. They should have killed them. They only win by 3.
Right.
Them turnovers is a killer.
Yo, that 3-point thing, man, they won. They beat Detroit by 3, or they kicked that field goal. They kicked that field goal, that come from behind field goal. Then they beat somebody else with the go ahead field goal. I think that was Green Bay. They beat with the go ahead field goal. And then this bullshit. This 3-point. Like, I'm just saying, teams that go to the Super Bowl, they don't just win by 3 points every freaking week, man. Even the Ravens, when they were all defense that year with Ray Lewis, the man who used to put the fear God in people. I can't remember what show. I wish I could remember so I could tell you who it was. They literally said, man, you had to go up against Ray Lewis. I was scared to death. I only could imagine how them boys felt against Lawrence Taylor. Ooh, he up there snapping people's legs like chicken wings, man. He was trying to get home to that Coke, boy. That's why he used to play like that. He said he was trying to hurry up and get through the game so he could get home to get high.
That's that motivation.
Cocaine is a hell of a drug.
I heard that before somewhere.
You know where you heard that.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. So anyway, we was in agreement on that game.
Yeah, I picked Buffalo.
We both picked the Bills. We both picked the Bills. Yeah. So the Bills won that. All right. So now we got the number 6 Giants 31-24 over the number 3 Vikings. New York was able to pull off the upset in Minnesota thanks to a historical performance by Daniel Jones, who became the first quarterback in NFL playoff history to throw for at least 300 yards and 2 touchdowns, while also adding at least 70 yards on the ground. Not only did Jones throw for 301 yards, but he was also the game's leading rusher with 78 yards on 17 carries. The win over Minnesota marked the Giants' first playoff victory since they beat the Patriots in Super Bowl XLVI back in February 2012. Okay, so this is the first playoff victory since they won that Super Bowl in 2012.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought they won that wasn't the undefeated Patriots season. The undefeated season was like in 2000 and
8.
Yeah, something like 2000. Yeah, or 2004 or 5. It was somewhere around there.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. So anyway, this is the one where HipGregory called it. He called it, and they not only did they win, but I pretty much say they won convincingly. To me, the score is not very indicative of how that game went. That game was very frustrating. If you wanted the Vikings to win, the Giants just really had control of that game the entire game. If that was a heavyweight fight, the Giants would have won 9 out of 10 rounds because they were doing the Vikings dirty, man.
They was doing the thing. And Daniel Jones, I'm gonna say the same thing about him that I said about Geno Smith. I'm surprised. This dude about to get a contract and come back with the Giants. I thought this was gonna be his last year.
Yeah.
Until this year, he did not look like a franchise quarterback. But this year,
he's
been balling.
He don't look like he be moving that fast, but obviously he moving that fast.
But you can't catch him.
You can't catch him.
He's actually, he could do a lot of damage running the ball, and I gotta give it up, that what's his name, Dave Ball, the coach.
Yeah,
man, he's doing his thing with the Giants because that's basically the same team. They don't really. If you look at the weapons, they don't really seem like they're that star-studded, but they managed to find ways to win. And I was surprised how they came out and they was throwing that ball on the they came out fire. I was like, I didn't expect them to be being so aggressive in the passing game. And then for Daniel Jones to run the ball 17 times, that is the code. They came out with a plan.
Right.
I do not think the Vikings expected.
Right. Well, I'm gonna say this. I don't think all of that is gonna work against San Fran defense. I mean, against Philly,
they play the Eagles, right?
Yeah, against Philly or San Fran or Philly's defense, whoever they got to play. But we're gonna just talk about Philly right now since that's who they're going against next week. I don't think that's gonna. I don't think that would work too well because I think that Minnesota was totally unprepared for that. They didn't have a spy. If somebody's running the ball 17 times on you and getting 70 yards, put a freaking spy on the man. They wasn't even spying the dude out.
Hey, I don't know.
They might be looking for a new defensive coordinator in Minnesota.
They were not prepared.
They wasn't prepared.
I was surprised. That's usually not like the Giants don't play like that. Like that's only the second time they scored 30 points all year.
Right.
The first time was against the Colts, and I think that was like the second to the last game of the season. So they offense don't really put out that many points. So I can understand them being surprised, but
you gotta adjust.
The Vikings had no adjustment.
And they didn't lose by a lot.
No, they could
have. Just the way that they got chipped away at, man. They
was in the game. They had a drive at the end where they could have tied the game. They would have scored a touchdown, and I don't understand why on 4th down and 8 and you throw the ball 3 yards down the field. I would never understand that type of logic.
Man. These NFL players, man, some of them seem like they head screw on and off because the dumb shit they do. I mean, we not in the situation and we don't know, but I played Madden before, which is about the closest I could get to being in the game, other than being in the game. And I'm not going to do no dumb shit like that. I'm going to throw the ball past the yellow line.
Right,
Crazy, man.
especially when you got a stud like Justin Jefferson. Just throw the ball to him. He might jump up and catch it.
Man, and I don't even think they target him that much in the game either.
Yeah, I think the defense must have
probably
did
had
their best
two
to try
or
to
three.
take him away.
Yeah, and it worked.
It worked. Yeah, I still would have threw him the ball though. On that last play, I'm throwing to you because you've been making plays all year. So
Oh well, thank you, man. I'm glad you throw me the ball, bro. I would catch it too, man. I promise you. I got hands, baby. No, for real, bro. I got hands now. Don't get it twisted. I might have to go out for these Bengals, the Buffalo State Bengals next year. Just scare them up so they be like, yo, who is this old ass brother trying to come out here? I'm gonna say, listen, don't look at me like that. Y'all need all the help y'all can get. Y'all ain't win a game last year. I can't make it the situation no worse. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not trying to get beat up. I'm not trying to get beat up by no young football players because they seem like they'll whoop your ass like wrestlers.
You going out there still playing in your old age like Tom Brady.
Yeah, but I told you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna be a kicker.
Yeah, you did say that last week.
And the Cowboys need one bad, bro. They need one bad.
Man.
We're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that in a second. Let's talk about these number 3 Bengals, 24-17 over the number 6 Ravens. The Ravens had Cincinnati on the ropes for most of this game, but the Bengals were able to escape.
That's a good word.
I like that choice of words, yes, with a win thanks to their defense, which came up with one of the biggest plays in NFL postseason history. With the Ravens at Cincinnati's 1-yard line, Tyler Huntley fumbled and Sam Hubbard returned that fumble 98 yards for what ended up being the game-winning touchdown.
Put them right around Huntley. He reaches. Oh, that ball's out. That's live. Back the other way. Sam Hubbard, the Cincinnati Kid. Hubbard's got a convoy. Chased by Andrews. At the 30, the 20. He will score. And he broke the plane. Logan Wilson went over the top to knock it out. We'll have to see where it came out. That's short. That is short of it. What a play by Wilson. And Sam Hubbard, who grew up a Bengals fan, won a state championship at Moeller High School, championship at Ohio State, makes the massive play to take it the other way and give the Bengals the lead.
The one thing that I'm going to say is they should have called that man for a block in the back. I'm sorry.
On the return?
Yeah. Even though he put his hands up, man, he straight pushed him in the back. But I mean, I guess you don't call it when it's that big of a play. But that was a block in the back. Well, he didn't block. He just pushed him though. He just pushed him. But I don't know the rules if pushing is a block in the back or if you got to actually commit with your body and hit somebody. But he put his hands up quick as hell, like it wasn't me.
Yeah, usually that's when you know somebody did something wrong. When they were like, "Oh, it wasn't me." That's a sign of guilt.
Right. I don't know how that happened. It wasn't me. And so that play where he extended that ball out and it got knocked out of his hands and the defense jumped up. I said, oh man. And you know what's crazy? Last week you said the Ravens can't score over 17 points.
And that's something. And they got 17.
And they got stopped on that line when they could have scored 17. You said that too. I said, look at this, man. My boy Hip Gregory. That's why I keep him around, man, with these great sports predictions, man. And I think on that game we both went with the Bengals, didn't we?
Yeah, both
Yeah.
with the Bengals. The Ravens played better than I thought they would. To tell you the truth,
Man,
Huntley,
they played way better.
Yeah, Huntley. I think that was his best game. I mean,
Yeah,
that was really close. I mean, that game. If he gets in the end zone, then Baltimore probably wins 24-17 because there was no more scoring in the rest of the game.
Right.
So
right.
that was a humongous play.
Humongous, bro. That was like they say, one of the biggest plays in NFL postseason history.
Right.
Yeah.
Maybe they played so well because that's another game that was family business. So
that's the thing. Yeah, that was the third. I told them 3 times beating a team. It's hard, and that was a miracle. That was like miracle on 34th Street. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That was a miracle.
Yeah.
Like nobody could have predicted that. That's not no prediction.
Yeah.
So, all right. So now let's get to the one we all been waiting to hear Hip Gregory and KryptoCritic3000 talk about. The number 5 Dallas Cowboys, 31-14 over the number 4 Tampa Bay Buccaneers with a losing ass record. The Cowboys dominated this game from start to finish, and a big reason why that happened was because of Dak Prescott, who had a historically big night. The Cowboys QB set a franchise record with 5 total touchdowns, 4 passes, 1 rush, while also throwing for 305 yards. The only Cowboys player who struggled in this game was kicker Brett Maher, who missed an NFL record 4 extra points. The Cowboys will now have to decide if they want to keep him around for Sunday's game in San Francisco. Oh my God. Can you imagine being a kicker and about to lose your gig with a Super Bowl contender? How do you miss that many freaking extra points?
He missed 3 all season. He missed more on Monday than he did all year.
Man, what if it remember when I was saying if the placeholder just moves it just a little bit? But Troy Aikman kept saying the hole looked good.
Right. And then but I don't so the holder was doing it good all year and he sort of messed it up now.
I don't know either, man. That's some real freaky stuff there, man. Thank God it wasn't the Bills. Could you imagine if that was happening to the Bills? They'd be like, oh my God, why right all over again. Holy
right.
Yo, if that was let me tell you something, bro. Buffalo Bills fans got mad love or whatever. But I think if that was a Buffalo Bills kicker, bro, that dude couldn't even come back to the city. Because that's just like Buffalo Bill fans are still healing from that miss, that wide right kick. They still healing from that. If they would have had a kicker doing that, like, oh my God, it wouldn't have been. Even if we won the game, I already know he wouldn't have a job. Not in Buffalo. They ain't taking no chances in Buffalo. That's not. He might still have a job in Dallas. Like they might have him out on the field, and he doing a bunch of kicks, and they like, okay, he look good. Yo, in Buffalo, he might not even have got a ride home, bro. He might have. They might say, listen, bro, you can't even get on this plane, bro. you gotta find your own way back. It might have been like they were like, yo, if you get on this plane with us, man, it could be dangerous for you. Well, it wouldn't have been a plane. I think it would be a bus because Cincinnati is only 5 hours away.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think they probably take the buses because I don't think they want to risk all of the whole football team dying just to go 7 hours or 8 hours away. I know, like, if it's like LA to Miami, they're gonna fly that because that's three-day trip. You know?
What you call it? Jerry Jones, that boy crazy. He tweeted something. He said, if there's any kickers in the stadium, please come down. I got a jersey for you.
Yo, that dude. Yo, it was so bad. They didn't even go for a field goal.
Opportunity for Tampa Bay on defense here, 4th and 4. Good protection, and the pass wide open. Touchdown, Lamb. A total breakdown in coverage. And Dak Prescott has had a fantastic night.
When they could have,
Right.
under normal circumstances, they would have, they like, we ain't. Did you hear how the crowd erupted when that man kicked that extra point? I've never heard a crowd erupt like that before over an extra point. Like when they scored and he was kicking, I wasn't even paying attention. And then I heard that rumble from the crowd, like it was the go ahead. They were so happy he finally, man, bro, that changed the whole complexion of the game, man. Because and then you playing Tom Brady, who all he needed was 3 touchdowns and 3 2-point conversions. Bro, my heart as a Cowboys fan, my heart was not settled until it was so close to where it was just impossible for Tom Brady to come back because we talking about Tom Brady here, man.
Right, we are talking about Tom Brady, and that's the way I thought going into the game. I thought, because Dallas hadn't been playing well, I actually picked Tampa Bay to win the game. I thought, it was going to be close. I thought it was going to be close, and Tom Brady was going to make a drive to win the game, like the last.
I thought so too. But Dak showed up.
Right, Dallas got right. They got right on that. But to me, it would seem like it was very evident early on that Tampa Bay was not going to win this game. They were the only team in the whole playoffs who looked like they wasn't supposed to be there. They looked off. Like
they did look awful. They did look awful. That game is not really showing us if the Cowboys can advance past the next level. I'm not even going to lie. People will look at that score and they'll say, 31, they took out the GOAT. But they got to realize the Buccaneers have the worst, rush offense in the entire NFL. They can't run the ball.
Right. 31-14, that score doesn't really tell the story. That it was worse than that. And you said, they can't. Tom Brady threw the ball 66 times.
Yeah, that's another record he got.
But that's not a record you want. 66 times. But
I'm just saying, just throw it on to his accolades. It's another.
Yeah, right.
It's another record, 66 times. Yeah, they couldn't run the ball. When you can't run, it's just like in basketball. If you can't get no points in the paint, you ain't getting nothing around the perimeter, man. You got to be able to do both. But speaking of that, I'm hearing that what's going on in basketball, just to change gears for a second, because I heard this today and I never heard this term before. They are playing positionless basketball, where they don't assign positions to the players no more.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's another conversation for another day after we get past this Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So, the Cowboys
dominated.
They dominated, but I'm gonna just say if this would have been Tom Brady playing one of his better games and the Buccaneers defense was there, I would say that the Cowboys really showed me something getting past that. But most of the catches, these dudes was wide open, like you was playing on playing in elementary school on the playground. But the one thing that I will say that I was impressed with Dallas was their defense. They
got studs on it. Yeah, they got studs on that side of the ball. Yeah,
they was getting at Tom Brady, even though they only got 2 sacks, both of them towards the end. But the pressure that they was getting on Brady, and then they had like 11 tipped passes.
Yeah,
that was that. Now that is impressive. That is impressive the way the defense held up. But the blown coverages from Tampa Bay, that's why I'm not impressed with the Cowboys 31-14 victory, because these guys was wide the freak open, man. That's not gonna happen in San Francisco.
Micah Parsons he's a freak of nature. But
yeah.
And what you call it? That dude Tom Brady though, that interception was terrible.
It started looking like he was trying to throw the game, man. It was so bad. He was playing so bad when he threw that interception, the one that he hadn't thrown since like 2019. He hadn't thrown a interception in the red zone since 2019. It was like 400 and something games or some crazy whatever. I knew whenever the announcers do stuff like that, they usually jinx the person. It's like the football, the sports god said, you know what? You're right. It's been too long. Let's make it happen.
Yeah, you're right.
He threw like and the dude tippy-toed in the back.
Yo, what you call it? That pass was so terrible. The thing about it is he don't want to get hit so bad that he just like turned his head and like threw it like you take it, just don't like that's how afraid he is to get hit. I mean, and don't get me, I understand. You're 45 years old. I wouldn't want to get
hit. That's how he stayed in the league for 20 years. Because remember, they didn't protect quarterbacks like this back in the day.
But Tom Brady would stand in the pocket and take a hit and make a throw. He's not standing in the pocket and taking no hits no more. And he probably because he can't. But
right. He grandfather age. Well, black people grandfather. White people, they just be having babies at like 48.
But that means it's time to retire. To me, if you can't stand in the pocket and take a hit,
bro. All I'm saying, and I said it before, if he come back, I'm just hoping that he get a minor major injury, like something minor, but he just say, man, you know what? I'm good. After playoff records, after 8th ring, this man got more playoff wins than teams and more rings than teams.
Right. So
this man got 7 rings. It ain't even what somebody got 7, don't they? Don't the Steelers got 7?
They might, but if they do, they're the only one. I'm not sure if they got that many. I'm not sure if they got. They might have 6, 5 or 6. I think it might be 6.
It might be 6.
It could be 7, but if they got 7, then that's the most any team got. You know?
Yeah, somebody. I know Brady got 7, but this man got accolades with whole franchises. Like, bro, you did it. Nobody will ever argue that you the GOAT. And one of my boys, Lando, he was talking about, well, some people argue that Deion Sanders was the GOAT. I said, listen, man, Deion Sanders probably was, Deion Sanders probably was the most athletic player ever, but he by far was not the GOAT. He only got 3 rings. It's not like his defensive skills led them to 10 championships. You can't even compare the two. You know, you can't even
Right,
compare
because
those two.
right, because quarterback is the most important position. So you could be the best defensive player, you can't win no team that many Super Bowls from the defensive side. You know what I'm saying? So the quarterback, of course, has the biggest impact on the game. And because I remember when I used to argue on behalf of Peyton Manning was better than Tom Brady.
Yeah,
I can't make
do
that
that no
argument no
more.
more. I
Nah,
can't make
and
that.
even with the meme you had up today about Peyton Manning talking about the halftime adjustments.
Right.
Even with the halftime adjustments. but
right.
But check this out. It kind of makes you wonder. Okay, so the New England Patriots and the Pittsburgh Steelers are tied for the most in history, each hoisting the Lombardi Trophy 6 times. So
6.
That might be why Tom Brady left too, because he knew if he get another Super Bowl ring, he got more than both of those two teams. That's what I think this man is doing, bro. Looking at franchise records and saying, I want to get 7 Super Bowl rings.
And maybe he's trying to get more than Belichick. Because I think Belichick got 2 with the Giants. Did he got 2 with the Giants?
Bill Belichick used to coach the Giants.
Yeah, he was the defensive coordinator back then when Lawrence Taylor was.
Okay.
When Lawrence Taylor was playing, he was the defensive coordinator. So
okay, I could go with that.
I think the guy he might have 2, so he might have a total. He probably trying to beat Belichick.
Yeah, but Belichick got him as a coach, man. He don't got him as a player.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying.
Did Belichick even ever play football?
You mean in the NFL? No.
Yeah, no, he didn't.
He played football though, but he ain't reached that level.
He played in college.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. But yeah, so because everybody hands down is trying to figure out why is Tom Brady still playing football, man?
Well, they talk about he don't know what he's gonna do. Like he's still thinking about coming back, and they I was watching some stuff and they trying to figure out what team go because it looks like it's not going to be Tampa Bay.
They don't want him back.
Yeah, they say Tampa Bay is $53 million over the cap without Tom Brady. So
damn.
So they got some
they
stuff.
They can't afford him.
They might not want him. They talk the teams that I heard associated with Tom Brady next year. They talk about Miami Dolphins or the Las Vegas Raiders. That's the teams that I heard the most.
Yeah, I heard about. Yeah, please don't let him go to the Dolphins. Oh my God, no, we cannot. No, please don't let him go to the Dolphins.
If you're Miami, well, I guess it depends if Tua is going to be healthy, but you would take him over Tua.
Would I take Brady over Tua?
Yeah.
Man, Brady, it's just a matter of time, bro, before Brady runs out of gas, man.
Yeah,
I don't know when it's gonna happen, but he's gonna run. He got to. It's like, dude, like you said, he's scared of getting hit now. You can't play scared football like that. Right. I didn't even notice.
It's a little risky against him. Second and goal. Brady rolls it down, now throws it. Intercepted by Curse.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, bro, it's just like, it's just like, what the hell is Tom Brady doing? I mean, I just don't get it, man. I was always taught, like, when you're playing basketball and you're just shooting around, practicing or whatever, you leave on a winning shot. Like, you keep hitting. Like, if you're missing baskets, you keep shooting until you make a winning shot. Then you leave off the court. Tom Brady should have left when he got that at home, that home championship, and left like that, and left the people wondering, damn, I wonder how many years he still had left in him. See,
Right.
he's trying to come out here and see how many years he got left.
Right.
And it's gonna be a sad, like, yo, I'm gonna be honest with you. As much as I used to dislike Tom Brady, and because I don't really dislike him as much as I used to, but as much as I used to dislike Tom Brady, playing against the Cowboys, and that's my team, I actually started feeling bad for that man. I started feeling bad for him because he just looked. I really started feeling bad for him, bro.
Yeah.
And I know it's a lot of people like, hell yeah, I'm happy. That you know what that remind me of, man? That remind me of the Muhammad Ali Larry Holmes fight when Muhammad Ali was finished. He was done. And he still tried to go out there and he got his ass whooped. That's what it reminds me of. If I had to pick parallel a sporting event to it, and no disrespect to the GOAT Muhammad Ali, but this is the same situation. You ain't got nothing else to prove. Give it up. That, like Muhammad Ali, he should have if he would have gave it up before that fight, you know, we would never know that. We would never see that. Now, if Tom Brady gives it up, he's gonna give it up on like his most horrible performance ever. He should have gave that thing up, man, when he won. You know, it was kind of like now Jordan defied the laws of gravity when he remember when Jordan won that series and he shot the game-winning shot. Man, that's the kind of stuff you leave on. But he did come back. He got 3 more rings. But Jordan knew to give it up. But then Jordan called himself, oh, well, let me give up my ownership in the Wizards and let me go put on a uniform and go out here and try to play. And mind you, he was still averaging. He was still averaging more than like average players.
Yeah, he was still good.
He was still good, but he wasn't no Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan was not Michael Jordan.
They ain't win no championships with the Wizards.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
But yeah, he took some years off in between.
He did.
So, yeah.
Yeah, man. So now
this weekend.
This weekend. Ooh wee. Is all I could say. Is ooh wee. Oh, and I want to give a big shout out to Stephen A. Smith and Michael Irvin for the shenanigans and the show they put on down there in Tampa on the extended first take. Oh my God. I had to call you up. Remember I called you up and I was like, yo, this is some of the best sports entertainment I've seen in a long time. A long time, you know. But that was some good stuff. That game right there, I believe it had more build up around it than the Super Bowl might have. It felt like that was a Super Bowl, bro. The way they was talking about it, and you know, all of the stats they was pulling out, and
they had the commercial for the Mandalorian during the game.
Yeah. And then they had bro, they had something I had never seen on NFL before. It had winter commercial, right? And on the bottom, it said, coming up next, Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb. when do they like coming up next? I said, man, I mean, from a media aspect, what is this? Like, what is this, man? What have we become as a sports nation? Up next, Dak Prescott. All right, so the first game will be the Jacksonville Jaguars will be taking on the Kansas City Chiefs. The number 4 Jaguars face the number 1 Chiefs. Oh, okay. I believe the spread is -8.5. So the Jaguars are favored by 8.5 points in this game, which means the Chiefs are the overdog. This game will be 4:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on NBC. So after getting a week off, the Chiefs will be opening their postseason run with a game against the Jacksonville Jaguars, a team that they actually played earlier this season, back in week 10. The Chiefs beat the Jags 27-17 in a game where Kansas City jumped out to a 20-0 lead before coasting to the win. And that's coasting to the win, W-I-N, not coasting to the wind, W-I-N-D. Let me just be clear on that, because sometimes I don't move my lips when I talk, which would make me a great head coach, because I could be like, 34-27, pick, go to the right. They won't be reading my lips. They won't be seeing the play. But who you got in this one? HipGregory, what are your thoughts?
I was kind of thinking, should I pick a underdog to win? Kansas City was off, but I do not have the heart to do it. I'm not going. I'm going to pick the favorite to go with Kansas City to win this game again. I don't have the heart to pick Jacksonville. Yeah, I mean they did do wonders in that second half, but I can't totally erase the first half too. You can't.
Right, right. Right.
I don't think that's going to fly this week. Not saying that he's going to throw another 4 interceptions, but you can't do that with Kansas City and come out.
Oh, hell no. You ain't. Nah, bro. No, not at all.
Yeah, I'm going with Kansas City.
Going with KC. All right, now, I do know this, man. Sometimes that week off affects a team so badly. It's like they forget everything they know. I remember when I used to be in a cable game and I took off a week. Yo, that day coming back, that first day, it took me about to my third day to get back in the swing of things. But man, we know that. I'm sure they know that. And they probably had the Chiefs playing fake games this whole time, or at least playing Madden or something to keep their head in the game or whatever. I'm gonna go with Kansas City too. Now, if the Jaguars do win, I will be happy. I'm not gonna be upset about that one. But because but now here's the other thing I do want to mention. It depends on which Chiefs we get. If we get them Chiefs that played the Bills, or we get those other Chiefs that come out doing stupid stuff like Patrick Mahomes is a rookie. If we get the rookie version of Patrick Mahomes, it's over. Jacksonville going to tear that ass up if we get that guy coming out there. Because I believe with the 4 turnovers and they got past that, and the way that they came back, I believe that Jacksonville probably got a lot of confidence too. But again, I'm gonna go with them. I'm gonna go with them Chiefs. I don't know if I would go with the Chiefs for that 8.5 points.
Right.
I think it would be closer than that. I think it's gonna be.
I think so too.
Yeah, but I definitely think that Patrick Mahomes. Oh man, the way he played last year against the Bills. Man. That was some crazy stuff. But and then speaking of last year, I'm kind of glad they are becoming consistent with calling the pass interference the same for all the teams. Now, I'm not gonna make no excuse for the Bills with the officiating, but I must say that game, that historic game that changed the whole way that they do the overtime and playoffs, man, the Chiefs were getting away with so much pass interference that when they went out and they played in the Super Bowl, they were calling that game different on the Chiefs. And had the Bills been getting those kind of calls, the Bills would have been going to that Super Bowl. But obviously it just wasn't the Bills' year with the football gods or the people that control the NFL. So anyway, enough for conspiracy theories right now. Okay, so next up, when the East is in the house, the NFC East. And before we even bring up the Cowboys, the NFC East got 3 teams up in this thing going into the divisional round. It would have been nice if we would have had all 4 of the Commanders too. It would have it'd have been real ill on my group chat with my family because we got everything up in there. We got Dallas, we got Dallas, we got Washington, we got the Giants, and we got we don't have no Eagles. We ain't got no Eagles up in there. Ain't no birds up in there, baby. Nope. But we got the Commanders, the Cowboys, and who am I forgetting? Oh, and the Giants. Yeah, we got those with Giants. All right. So okay, I'm gonna go first on this one. Hip. So the Giants at the Eagles. I want both of these teams to lose. You know, I can't stand either one of these teams. I can't even believe that I was rooting for the Giants when they beat the Buffalo Bills in that game where the Bills did the kick wide right. But out of both of these teams, I think let me just read this real quick. The number 6 Giants at the number 1 Eagles at 8:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Fox. These 2 divisional rivals will be meeting for the 3rd time this season. And the Giants will be hoping this game has a different outcome than the first 2, which were both won by Philadelphia. This will mark the 25th time in NFL history that a team has swept its division rival in the regular season and then faced them again in the playoffs. The team that went 2-0 during the regular season has pulled off the 3-game sweep 15 out of 24 times. Okay, so I guess it's not as hard as I thought it was, but I still know it's a difficult task.
Yeah,
it's a difficult task. It's still something hard to do. And that's in any sport. That's in any sport. I mean, other than basketball, when you're going back and forth and then you win one, they win one, blah, blah, blah. So, so 15 out of 20. So that means just 9 times. It wasn't done. Okay. So after reading that, I'm gonna go with the Eagles, man, to win this. I think in my heart of hearts that the Eagles will win. That's what my logic tells me. Again, they got that week off, So this actually makes sense. So the Saturday games are the games where the two teams had the week off. They got to play first. That makes a lot of sense. That's understandable, and we're gonna get to see if these number one teams can hold a number one. Yeah. Yeah. So I'm gonna say the Eagles.
Right. Yeah, the week off, you were saying that about how the week off could make people look a little shaky, and and the Eagles, their best games haven't been their last game. What you call it? The Giants just played the Eagles with their backups, and the Giants looked like they could have won that game. That game was an easy win for the Eagles. And that's the game the Eagles had to win, and the Giants weren't playing for them. That game was kind of closer than I thought. And plus, Jalen Hurts, he's hurt. I don't think he's 100%. So
right,
it seems like it's got a little bit mojo working for the Giants. And the Giants looked good last week. I was kind of feeling like, should I take the Giants? Should I take the Giants? But I'm not taking the Giants. I'm still taking the Eagles.
Yo, but you know what? I was kind of hoping that you did pick the Giants because I'm telling you, with and I'm not trying to change your thing, but I would say I was hoping you would take them because then that way we got that game covered because that's really anybody's game. And it's with everything that you mentioning, man, and the way the Giants just played the Vikings, and I feel I feel like the Vikings are a better team in some ways and a worse team in some ways than the Eagles. And the Eagles, to me, they are number one team, but they not rocking like a Super Bowl contender. The way that they played like the last few games and they lost all of those games and almost gave the Cowboys a chance. If the Cowboys would have beat the Commanders, the Cowboys would be sitting in the number one spot right now.
No, but the Eagles won their last game, so it didn't matter. But if the Eagles would have lost, but yeah, I mean, and don't get me wrong. If I was feeling the Giants, and then I kind of like, for some reason, it was like I said to myself, I'm getting too excited about what happened the other day, and I don't want to read to him. So I think I'm going with the Eagles.
Yeah,
you know
because
what I'm saying?
the Eagles gonna put a spy on that slow ass white boy, because he's not that fast. He's not that fast. He's fast, but
he's fast. Yeah, the Eagles could put some pressure, and I do like the Giants. I do like the Giants defense. They do what they similar to the Commanders. They're probably better than the Commanders on this, but they similar as far as they defensive line do all the pass rush. They don't even blitz. They just rush forward and let the secondary, drop 7 people. Yeah. So that
I'm gonna say this right here, bro. I wouldn't want to be anybody having to play the Giants right now. Because the Giants, I mean, realistically, the Giants could beat any team on this board right now.
Right.
I think they could beat the Jaguars, the Chiefs. They can beat the Eagles. They can beat the Bills. Like the way they played that last game, they played a solid game, offense and defense. They ain't make no mistakes. I mean, they played some mistake-free football, and I think it was Bill Parcells said, it's not how many good plays you have. No, I think it was Jimmy Johnson. It's not how many good plays you have. It's just how many bad plays you don't have. Because the good plays gonna come. Them bad plays is fool. But I think that the Giants is definitely a contender. I wouldn't want to be the Eagles this week. I know that because the Eagles played like shit the past few weeks. They didn't impress me at all.
Right.
Yeah, they don't look
It's
like
funny.
them.
It's funny. We both picked the Eagles, but we sure bigging up the Giants. It's something like we.
Yeah, but it's just that the we know if the Eagles start that engine and that machine start running right, the Giants don't stand a freaking chance. But if the Eagles play the way that they've been playing the past few weeks, I guess it's because we're giving the Eagles credit for what they did in the beginning of the season. That's kind of what's prior to, and the Giants just really had one good game, which was last week. But it came at the right time in the playoffs.
At the right time, right.
Yeah. So on Saturday, this game, the Giants and the Eagles can be seen on Fox at 8:15, and the Eagles are a overdog, which means the Giants are an underdog at 7.5 points. Now, Saturday, I'm going out to Rochester to watch my NCCC. I'm going to watch my NCCC girls and the women's and the men's basketball play. And those games should be done with me enough time for me to get back to the 4:30 game. But I'm just going to say Saturday is going to be a chill day for me on this football. Now, Sunday, my heart going to be racing the whole day. I'm not going to get a minute of rest from 3 p.m. until probably 9 p.m. because both of the big games, the Bengals and the Bills, the Cowboys and the 49ers play. And what's crazy is, as a kid growing up, I know I'm skipping ahead to this Cowboys game, but I just remember when I was watching that game and I watched Everson Walls get scored on by Dwight Clark, number 87, Dwight Clark for the San Francisco 49ers catches the pass over my man Everson Walls, number 24, in the end zone to go on to the Super Bowl. I think it was one of the first times I ever realized if my team wins, we're going to the Super Bowl. And then to add insult to injury, freaking Kodak made that shit a commercial. Oh, man. Back then, I needed therapy after that, man. How could you do that, Kodak? Kodak. I should sue Kodak for that, man. They ruined my childhood, man. I still got PTSD. Right now, I'm thinking about this Cowboys 49ers game, and I'm starting to sweat, man, because it's back out there in 49ers land. I don't even know. Do they still play? They don't play at Candlestick Park no more.
No.
Thank goodness. With the half. And then how you going to be playing football on a half baseball field? They ain't have no respect for professional sports back in the day, bro. They got football players tackling on second base, man. That was crazy. I think the Raiders used to do that too, didn't they? The Raiders and the 49ers. Yeah, playing on a baseball field. Y'all can't even cut. Yo, they had no respect for the NFL, man.
That's the good old days when they used to play on grass.
Yo, that's the good old days when you could actually throw a quarterback down without being a roughing the passer. They had to see blood. They had to see blood spilling. Dude had to go to the ref with his tooth out, like, yo, ref, look, I'm missing a tooth. Okay, flag, roughing the passer. He's missing a tooth.
Did they even have roughing the passer? What's that?
Nah, they did. They had it if you hit the. But it evolved over the years because before, I don't really think they had roughing the pass. They had roughing the kicker. The kicker always been protected. That's why I'm going out for the Buffalo Bengals to be a kicker, because they protect the kickers, man. Kickers they protect us, man. But but what I was gonna say was roughing the passer. It I don't remember what it was originally, but I knew like in the 80s they started making it where you couldn't take 3 steps and hit the quarterback. You could take 2 and hit the quarterback. Now you can't even take 1 and sneeze on this motherfucker. They're gonna say COVID. You know what I'm saying? You can't even, man, you might get a roughing the passer if you help the quarterback up and smack him on the ass like back in the day. Roughing the passer. You know what I'm saying?
I was helping him up.
It's getting crazy. Like they say that the football world was outraged, even though Minnesota lost the game. The football world was outraged at that roughing the passer call that they got my man with. And when you see it, he threw him down a little rough, but he had the ball in his hand. You know, hey man, like we were saying, man, they want you to pick him up, tuck him in, and ask him. But before you put him down, and ask him, does he want any chocolate milk to drink before you go to bed? You got to tuck him in and put him in the bed. Now you can't just throw him down, man.
Yeah,
it's crazy, bro. So all right, so big Sunday. We got the number 3 Bengals at the number 2 Bills. And the Bills are actually the favorites in this game by 5. I can't believe it. Because in my mind, they ain't the favorites by 5 points. In my mind, this should be one of them half-point games. Whoever wins, wins. But this game can be seen at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on CBS. This game will be played exactly 20 days after their original game was canceled due to the situation involving Damar Hamlin. With Hamlin now back home in Buffalo, it would be surprising at all if he were to attend this game. It wouldn't be surprising at all if he were to attend this game. Okay, so who you got in this one, G? It's the Bengals at the Bills.
Bengals at the Bills. This is gonna be a good one right here. It's gonna be like the clash of the Titans, 2 stud quarterbacks. Talent-wise, this game could go either way. And with the turnovers Buffalo had, make me a little bit shaky. They can't handle turnovers this week and win this game, I'm thinking. But I'm gonna go just a slight chance. By a slight margin, I'm going with Buffalo to win this game. And the reason being that I'm going with Buffalo is because I saw a couple of injuries that they had to their offensive line. And, Joe
the
Burrow
Bengals?
was
okay.
The Bengals, yeah. And Burrow was kind of running for his life a little bit. He was under pressure. So with that, and even though they supposedly had 3 offensive linemen out, 2 of them got hurt on this past weekend, and it's still not sure they could possibly play. But I'm figuring that they might not play. So, and that reason alone, I'm picking the Buffalo Bills to win.
Now, the Bengals, I know it was family business, but it's no way that that they should have struggled like that against the against the Ravens. They really struggled with the Ravens. Like that's not the Bengals that I'm worried about. I think that they got a good game. With you mentioning those injuries, and me being a Bills fan, I gotta pick the Bills. But I will tell you, the Bengals do scare me. The Bengals do scare me. The way that the Bills played against Miami, man. Man, the only reason I'm going with the Bills is because I'm a Bills fan. And I can't see myself picking the Bengals. But I'm not going but I ain't gonna say the Bengals ain't got a shot because they definitely can make this a long week, a long day for the Bills. They definitely can. And all I know is that the Bills better figure it out, and they better figure it out quick. Because they only got a few days. All right. The Cowboys, number 5 Cowboys, at the number 2 seed 49ers. What's interesting, now the 49ers are the overdog by -4 points, so the Cowboys are the underdog by -4 points. All the home teams are the overdogs. All the visitors are the underdogs in this one. This game will be the last game, 6:30 p.m. Eastern time on your local Fox network. So the 49ers didn't play the Cowboys this year, but these two teams did meet last January in a playoff game that went down to the wire. The 49ers 23-17 wild card win last season wasn't decided until the Cowboys inexplicably called a quarterback draw in the final seconds, even though they had no timeouts. The game was played in Dallas, but this time around, the game will be played in San Francisco. Is that the one where they was criticizing Dak and everybody for not getting to the line on time? It was yeah. They were saying bad clock management. Because I'm like, why didn't I remember this game? But I think I do now. I remember that. So what are your thoughts, Hip Gregory? I think I went first or well, it don't matter.
Don't matter. This game right here, Dallas they got right with the Tom Brady and them. They looked at like they got back to themselves and they got weapons, especially on the defense. I mean, don't get me, they got weapons on offense too, but I'm really impressed with Michael Parsons especially.
Yeah, that dude is yeah.
Yeah, he's a beast. So and it's possible that they could do it, but I'm going with the 49ers. That's my Super Bowl pick when the playoffs started, and I'm gonna stick with them. Hopefully Purdy don't have no rookie moments. He hasn't shown any of that yet. Yeah, I'm going with the 49ers at home to pull this one off.
All right. So this is what I'm going to say about this game right here. Dak Prescott got a vendetta, man. Because remember, that was the draw play, and he been having to live with that decision all this time, and now he's getting a second chance. He getting a second chance basket to make the shot. Also, the Cowboys are the underdog going into this game, which means that there's not a lot of pressure on the Cowboys because that means they're expecting the Cowboys to lose. And this is going to be my away pick because I'm gonna go with the Cowboys now. I'm not going to say the 49ers don't put the fear of the football gods in me because that boy Purdy is on fire. But I just think that the Cowboys, the defense that they play, even though the Buccaneers ain't no Cowboys, they still had Tom Brady. And they were able to tip all of those passes. I think the Cowboys defense is going to make Purdy show his rookie side because ain't nobody been getting no pressure on that man. He been standing back there in the pocket. He been having a nice day. He been kicking his feet off, putting his feet in the pond while he been fishing, just throwing it and doing all of that. But he ain't been tested yet. And I think he gonna run into a test this week with the Cowboys. I think that defense, because them boys, they didn't sack Brady, but boy, oh boy, was they getting the pressure on him. And Purdy is not a roll outside of the pocket kind of quarterback either.
He could move. He ain't no statue like Tom Brady.
Right. Well, I don't think nobody's a statue like Brady, because Brady be throwing the ball in under 2 seconds.
Right.
Brady be getting rid of the ball quick. They say if he got to hold on to that ball longer than 2.5 seconds, he's one of the worst passers in the NFL. So yeah, but yeah, man. So I just think that I think the 49ers are going to get tested this week. Now I will say this. This is going to show us what the Cowboys and 49ers are both made of. This game right here is going to show us if whoever wins this got the ability to beat whomever wins that Giants-Eagles. You know, and if it is the Giants that do win, the good thing about that is the Cowboys will get a home championship game, or the 49ers will get a home championship game. And if the Eagles win, then it's vice versa. But that's some good stuff, man. That's why we need the Jaguars to knock out the Chiefs so the Bills can be at home again if they get past the Bengals. So I think that's going to do it for me, G. Do you got anything else to say about this weekend coming up, or you got anything that you want to say to the people? What's up?
You know, thank y'all for tuning in, and we be back again after this weekend to do it again, and come join us, join the ride.
That's right. I just want to thank everybody for watching. Please like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you can know when me and HipGregory are going to be on here, because you definitely want to hear our sports analysis because we are the realists in the business. Again, thank y'all for watching, and this is going to be an exciting weekend in football, man. All of these teams are good. All of these teams, I can't complain if any of these teams make it to the Super Bowl. I couldn't say nothing. It's not, you know how every year you got a team and you like, this team. I can't say nothing about any of these teams if they make it to the Super Bowl. So
maybe not Jacksonville, but okay.
Well, Jacksonville is the weakest link.
Right.
Yeah, I don't like that 70s show quarterback.
Yeah, he do look like a surfer.
Yeah, he looked like he should be on that 70s show. They look. He looks so 70s. They shouldn't even be calling roughing the passer if he get hit. Yeah. They shouldn't even call that, bro. He looks so 70s, man. He looked like he'll pull out a joint and just start smoking it on the side of the field. What you say, coach? But anyway, man, that's going to do it for us. And we will see y'all next week. Peace. That's a wrap.